Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Ike Log, creator and author of the blog, The Viable Alternative, which is an inspirational blog where I share the wisdom, insights gained along my path to becoming a greater, stronger version of myself. And if you want to read more on the blog, click on the window where it says Show More, and you'll see a link for www.theviablealternative.com. Now, the topic of my discussion today is Incels, build your own. I actually want to say Incels, build your effing own, but I'm hearing, I don't like cursing in my videos, and I'm hearing like stuff about like YouTube, I don't know, not demonetizing or like deprioritizing videos that have curse words in them. So I'll keep it like rated PG. Incels, build your effing own. Now, this is not a video to browbeat incels or shame you or insult you or tell you how much of your whiner or blah, blah, blah. This is not about that. This is an encouragement that you can build your own. This is from someone who is an ex-incel. So I completely know how you feel. When I was in my teens, especially my late teens, 18 and 19, I was an enraged, angry, embittered individual. Why was I angry, embittered, and enraged? Because, well, number one, I was hurt. I was hurt because people had not said many nice things to me growing up, especially in my years of puberty. My years of pubescence. Girls were mean to me and guys were mean to me. I was called ugly. I was called ugly. I had severe cystic acne, and that's why I was also called ugly. I actually called ugly before I started getting severe cystic acne. I remember being in the middle school. There were the cool kids, and I somehow thought that I needed their permission to be, do, and have what I wanted, which was to be cool. I needed their position to be, I needed their permission to be worth something. And I felt that if I only got the permission of the cool kids, that I could now have the permission to be cool and feel great about myself and get all the things that I wanted in life. So my whole sense of self was based on their approval of me. And they never gave it to me. In fact, they did the opposite. And so, it was kind of like I had to go to them for permission for things, I even remember, if I sang a song on the radio at the time that was like they would tell me, oh, look at you trying to be cool, start being cool. Or if I remember wearing shades that were in style and one of the cool kids demanded I lend it to him, I told him no. And he said to me that basically implied that he was much more cool than me and I did not have the right to wear them. He started saying I look like a monkey in them anyway. I remember, I remember even in plays or like in theater class, not wanting to take certain roles because I didn't think I had the right to take them. And that was the beginning, And girls were just friggin' bitches to me of all colors, not just black, people say black girls are bitches, but all colors. And, I remember, being called pizza face. I remember, there was a couple of other kids, that I grew up with that also had their acne, but mine was the worst. And some girls used to call us the acne convention. I remember when my face started to clear, my face did clear. Even though I'd get breakouts here and there, my face did clear when I was 16, 17. And the neighborhood hoe who was getting with all the guys, my crew, didn't want to get with me because she thought I was ugly. I remember liking a girl and meeting up with her and her saying her friends, oh, I don't want to get with that guy because he's ugly. I remember walking down the streets. I think I was 12 years old, 12, 13. And a girl's like, damn, he ugly, So And I remember just also having the quote unquote indignity of watching your friends be fawned over by girls, them pinching their cheeks and sitting on their laps and flirting with them and trying to push up on them, and me just sitting on the side like watching and yearning as I was completely ignored. And if I tried to input something in the conversation, there was this look like, well, dude, like, go away. Or like, wow, when the hell did this guy get here? It's like I didn't even exist. So, you know, with all this mentality, when I hit 18 or 7, like about 17 and a half, 18, I just started getting, I went from shamed to getting very angry, angry at people. And then I learned at 18 that I can hate people, which I never knew in my life that I can hate people. And when I learned that you can hate people, it literally, like, I felt like I was set free. I was given a powerful tool, because now I felt, well, people hated me, I can just hate you back. Or I can even hate you first. And I became a hateful, angry bastard. And my bitterness of the world was, number one, I hated everybody who hurt me in the past. I hated everybody who hurt me in the past. And I felt that was my revenge, because at the time, before that, I was trying to get everybody to like me. But I was like, screw you. I don't have to get you guys to like me anymore. I can friggin' hate you first. To screw you. So my revenge was to hate everybody who hated me first. So I actively hated people and liked it. It made me feel powerful. But yeah, it was to cover up my hurt and my pain and the rejection I felt. But what was the crux of the issue was that, so when I got to college, I was so stunted and wounded from all of the past pain and rejection and stuff like that. Not only did I not have any game, but I just really felt I did not have the right to be a successful woman. And I just felt like a huge victim. And I would watch my friends who were good with girls, and it just like, I felt like, a little bit resentful, not towards them, but towards a woman, because I felt that they were allowed into that world. There was like the land of woman, and these guys got like carte blanche in the land of woman, They had no problem pulling them, the girls liked them, and I just felt like this like a leper in the land of woman who wasn't wanted. And basically what it came down to is like I felt like there was a party going on inside, like people were having a blast, and I was on the outside looking in, and the world would not let me in. And basically speaking, I wanted people to give me the permission to come into this, and nobody was giving me the friggin' permission at all. And I was just enraged and angry. And I remember talking with another childhood friend who was going through similar childhood angst, and we used to talk about attacking happy couples in parks, and if we got real drunk, we'd talk about becoming serial killers. It was really, I was insane. I explained this on the video, but I'm going in a different direction here. So, when I listened to Incels, and I listened to, I remember listening to the manifesto of Elliot Rodger several years back, and it was quite eerie because he reminded me a lot of me. When I was a little younger than him. At 22, I actually had broken through all that. But when I was 18, 19, he reminded me just of me. We probably would have been friends, actually. If he was killing people in the room, he probably would have saved my life. Yeah. I know he's an inspiration for a lot of incels. I know a lot of incels post him on boards and talk about him as he's some type of martyr or like a cult icon or something like that. And it's because, but here's the thing, when you listen to him talk, again, it was this feeling that he wanted a certain life, and he was frustrated because the world wasn't giving him permission to go and get it. And he felt his whole value was predicated on the world's opinion of him. And because they weren't telling him what he felt he needed to hear about himself, he felt he couldn't go after the things that he wanted, And one of my huge breakthroughs I had in my life that set me on the road of becoming a successful woman and getting rid of me feeling like a victim was, well, two things. Was number one, that everybody who was good with women, beyond being good looking, it's not even about looks, They each had their own unique gifts that made them successful. One of them had the gift of gab. You know, he can sell ice to an Eskimo. He can sell you a glass of piss. I mean, this guy was that good. Gift of gab. Yeah, he was good looking. I'm not gonna lie about him. But I will tell you that if it wasn't for his looks, if it wasn't for his gift of gab, he wouldn't have been that successful. He had like an amazing gift of gab. He used to get us in free into clubs. I don't know what the hell he said. To this day, I still don't know what the hell he told the bouncers, but he literally was able to get us in free. Where I went to school, college, I went to college in Boston, and I remember him coming to visit because he was going to Georgetown. He came to stay with us for a week, and one night he just got on the phone and blabbed for like 5-10 minutes, and lo and behold, we were all getting free into the club. So you can't say it was his looks, because he did this over the telephone, so nobody knew what he looked like. So he was able to parlay that into really like woman. I know the friend who was just like kind of like just a huge player, and he just wore it, like he oozed it. And a lot of women with daddy issues, because he was a player and they knew he wasn't going to be faithful to them, they felt they needed to try and lock him down, and they wanted to believe all the the lies he told them. I knew someone else who was just like smooth talker. Some people were just good storytellers, very intelligent. Some people just were bold. I remember even going out one night and seeing a dude. He was overweight, and he was approaching women with no like fear at all, and they were liking him. He was a fat, chubby dude. You know what I'm saying? And I just marveled at all this. I was just like, wow, here are different guys of different looks, but they're all getting girls. This means that I don't have to be like everybody else. I just have to be like myself. And I was like, wow, if these dudes have their own gifts that make them successful, what are my gifts? What do I have? What do I have uniquely offer? Because I started realizing that one other thing that I realized too was that like I'd see two guys that I thought, oh, these two guys are good looking. Every girl should like them. But they approach girls, and the girl would not like one, but like the other. And I was like, wow, I thought girls were just like everybody's good looking. But no, they didn't like him because he wasn't one of them, because he wasn't their type. It was the other girl's type. So I said to myself, wait, so everybody, basically, they manifest success in their own unique way. Like, you don't have to be one carbon copy or one mold of what to be to attract women. Obviously there are qualities that all women like and everything like that, but you can be different things, display different qualities, different gifts, and be able to have that success with women. And this was just like a huge revelation. Like, seriously. This is coming from 2-3 months earlier when I was still at school. I was at home for summer vacation. But 2-3 months earlier, I was literally setting dates for my suicide and planning how to kill myself. It literally was a whole plan. I was planning my dates, but then something would happen. Like, I guess I'd have a good day, and I decided to postpone my suicide. And obviously, I'm still here. This was years ago. But yeah, 2 months earlier, I was just basically just hated my life, hated myself, hated the world, hated everybody. And now I'm getting this revelation like, wait, so if these people have their own unique gifts, what are my gifts? What gifts can I use? Forget what I don't have. But what do I have that I can harness to make myself successful in attracting women? Now, it's kind of like, let's take a look at all the rich nations in the world, the industrialized nations or the rich nations, I don't know what they call it, the G20. You'll notice that each country has its own type of unique economic model. I was watching a video the other day about how Korea became successful. And the model with which they became successful was totally different than the Western nations. Totally different than Western nations. Totally different. To just make a long story short, when Korea was as poor as dirt, the leader of South Korea basically got together the families of all the rich families and told them he would do whatever they wanted, supply them their companies if they will use that to make the country prosperous. And I'm just totally like completely like abridging what happened. But, you know, that was their model. United States developed in its own way. England developed in its own way. Whatchamacall. The other Western European countries developed their own way. Japan developed in its own way. But beyond developing, they exported goods and they got back foreign currency in return. You know, you export, import, you trade, you know, and people will trade with you something if they feel you have something of value, you know. Each nation has its own thing it exports that brings back money in, that is used to develop its economy, develop its infrastructure, and bring the nation prosperity. Each nation, every nation has its own unique way of development, its own unique models, its own unique healthcare system, its own unique military, you know, the goods that it exports, you know? And it's the same with human beings. We each have our own unique resources and treasures that we can use to harness and develop to become successful in life, and also with women. Look, it's also said that Japan has no natural resources to speak of whatsoever. It doesn't have oil, it doesn't have gold, it doesn't have diamonds and everything like that. It doesn't have uranium. So they basically had to go and use their ingenuity to create something to export. But you don't see the Japanese bemoaning their lack of natural resources. They went and created their own and used that to become successful, you know? So that was the one, it's just hot in here. That was the one realization I had, that I can use whatever I uniquely had to become successful. The second thing, a couple months later, because after I realized this, I was still kind of a little bit like resentful, because I said, okay, I want to become successful with women, but nobody's helping me out. Nobody's giving me permission. Nobody's telling me how cool I am. Nobody's telling me how much potential I have. Nobody's giving me that kick in the behind that I needed to go out then and go get my success. So this was the second thing I realized, that I had to give my own self that permission. I had to give my own self that right. I had to give my own self the blessing to be successful, because nobody else was going to give it to me. And this is when I was off to the races and started taking action. So what I come back to, if you're an incel, is that to build your own and give your own self the right to be successful. You don't have to wait for other people. And also, who in the hell has the right to tell you what you have is not good enough? Screw them. Who the hell are them? You want to know a way to piss people off? And I'll tell you before I even tell you this, that, you know, actually nobody really cares about your success or our success or anybody's success. Actually, if you really look at it, nobody really cares. Everybody has their own problems. But if you really feel you want to piss somebody off, go and give yourself the permission to do the things that people said you cannot do. That's how you give your big middle finger to everybody in the world that hurt you in the past and everything, you know. If you feel you need some fuel, let that be the fuel to this fire, but just don't let that be your only fuel, you know. I think it's good to have a chip on your shoulder. Again, not that it's so huge that it crushes you and everything like that, you know, because you have a lot of people that have chips on their shoulder, they become successful, and that chip on their shoulder is making them miserable, you know. But I think you do need a certain bit of fuel. You know, it's like those athletes that were told that they could never make it, or those businessmen or whatever, whoever had a dream, you know, that recording artist, singer, you know, whatever famous person, you know. Someone in the past told them that they sucked or they should give up, they're a loser, and that person always remembered that. And every time, they always remember that. And then when they go forward to pursuing their dreams, whenever they felt like giving up, when stuff got too hard, they always remember that person that told them they couldn't do it, and they become re-energized and reinvigorated to go after their goal because they want to prove that person wrong. So, what I want you to do is to remember every person that said all the horrible things to you in the past. I don't care if it's classmates, to your parents, to your siblings, to co-workers, to a stranger, you know, anybody who told you anything that was hurtful. You're going to take that, remember that. And instead of using that as an excuse for why you can't enter the life you want, you're going to now spite that person and say, screw you. I give myself the permission to go and get the things I want anyway. I don't need your permission anymore. And once that happens, that person becomes irrelevant. And everybody else in the past hurt you becomes irrelevant because you're no longer dependent on their opinion. So, after you give yourself the permission, you're going to find out what are your own unique resources and treasures. What are you good at? What gifts do you have? And don't tell me that, oh, I'm a loser, I have no gifts. I see some of you on those, like, I haven't looked in those boards in a long time, but incels.me, whatever you want. Some of you are freaking funny. Some of you have great wit. You don't think women like that? You're going to take all your internal resources and treasures, and you're going to use that now to create the life that you want. Take every little thing that you have that's good. Look at your passions. What do you like doing? Like, take everything you have and use that to create a life for yourself that makes you happy. Forget the woman. Forget the woman for now. Do you like fishing? Do you like frogs? Do you like wildlife off the coast of northern coast of Alaska? Whatever the hell you're interested in, get passionate about that. What are things you've always wanted to do and learn and everything like that? Start learning that. Start going after the things you want in life. Start pursuing your, or actually, start working to satisfy your curiosities, whatever you've been curious in life. You know, if you want if you want to study something, go study. If you want to travel, but start making an enjoyable life for yourself. Start learning how to make yourself happy. And if that even requires therapy, go and do it. But start, like, create a life for yourself that you completely, absolutely love. You know, if you want your crib to look a certain way, then make it look that way. If you want to dress a certain way, dress that way. If you feel you have no dressing skills or no fashion sense, go look at magazines and stuff like that. But start to become the person that you want to be. Start to go after things that you want, because I guarantee you, once you start to pursue the things you want to do, you step out of your comfort zone, you go after things you want. Don't forget women for now. As you fail, you get up, you fail, you get up, and you just start to acquire a skill set. You build that muscle, you build the calluses. You are organically going to create self-confidence. You are organically going to learn to love yourself because you're honoring yourself. The problem with incels is because you guys have no self-esteem. And the problem with and the thing about having no self-esteem is because people don't know how to honor themselves. Think of that part of you, that self, as a child. The more you uplift it, the more you listen to its desires and its yearnings, the better it feel about itself because you know you love him. But the more you ignore it and neglect it and abuse it, it's going to feel worse about himself because you don't think you like it. So when you honor yourself, that self inside of you is going to be like, oh, this person loves me, and your self-esteem is going to rise. Start to build your own. Create a life that you want. Forget what the media tells you about your life. Screw the goddamn media. Screw the magazines. Make a life that you want for yourself. Do not be like 90% of the populations that are buying things that they can't afford to impress people they don't like. And learn to impress yourself. Learn to make yourself happy. Learn to do things that you love doing. Pursue the thing that you want. You know, let me tell you something. Those popular bastards you see that, like, on television that are exalted, a lot of them are very miserable. A lot of them are following a script that was given to them by somebody else. A lot of them are following a life that they don't even like, but they feel they need to go after it because they feel like everybody else is doing that, and that's what's making them happy. You are going to be that unique person that actually is happy because you're actually going to ask yourself what makes you happy, and you're going to go and get it. And your happiness is going to be predicated on your own unique definition of happiness, not the friggin' illusion or the matrix or society or whatever like that. Again, screw all of them. Build a life that you want. Because we can even take these celebrities that are exalted on television or the media, whatever. Take each celebrity. Each one is unique in his own or her own way. Each one of them are unique. They have different tastes, different likes, different hobbies. They have different gifts. What are your gifts? What are your hobbies? What are your unique characteristics? Let me tell you something. What makes you memorable and lovable are what makes you unique, your idiosyncrasies, your quirks. That's what makes you lovable. Other than that, you're going to be like everybody else. You're not going to stand out. And some people may not like you because of your quirks, but screw them. Why would you want to be around someone who doesn't like you? You want to be around those people who love you for who you are. It's better to be loved greatly by 5 people than to be tolerated mediocrely by like dozens and dozens and dozens of people. You want to build that core of people that like you for who you are and who die hard, who are devoted to you. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, look, and it's a bad example, but these cult leaders that cause people in their cult to kill themselves. I mean, look, the world thought they were bizarre, but the people who they led in their cult loved them dearly, and that's why they were willing to listen and do the masochistic things they did. You know? They were loved dearly by a few people. And I guess it's a bad example, but what you want to do is fall in love with yourself in your life. Fall in love with yourself in your life. Build your own. Build your own story, your own movie. Become the hero in your own story. Become the exalted person in your own story. You know, as all these celebrities have their own characteristics, I say, yeah, what are your characters? What are your instincts? What do you like doing? Is your favorite color purple? Then wear purple all the damn time. Become your biggest fan, you know? And again, the beauty about this thing is you can think about everybody who thought you were a loser or called you stuff, and this is like your middle finger. You're like, I am thriving anyway, despite what you said. I'm going to give you an example of my own life. So, I was a model for an underwear model. And I'm not, and I got rejected. I never booked anything as a model career, anything big, you know. Yeah, I've done fashion shows and stuff like that. Photographers approached me in the street, but I never really did anything big. The reason why when I really got into modeling was because I wanted a contract. I wanted an underwear contract with Calvin Klein or To Exist or Hugo Boss underwear. I wanted a big underwear contract. But basically speaking, I was rejected over and over and over again. And at one point, and you know, agencies that wanted to sign me, they were just like, yo, you know, you're kind of ethnically ambiguous. We don't know where to put you. I don't know where to put you as biracial. I don't know where to put you as Latino. And basically speaking, they were going to sign me, but they were reluctant. And they said, well, you have to pay for your own comp card. And my mentor was like, screw that. If they really wanted you, any model they accept that they really like, they pay for their comp card. They're the ones that foot the bill for the comp card. The comp card is a composite card about all your photos that they send out to their clients. And their clients will say, okay, we want this one, we want this one, we want this one. They weren't willing to invest in me. So I said to myself, you know what, man? It's time for me to give my own self the permission to be successful and to build my own. And I started doing my own events and promoting myself. And but still wasn't getting that underwear contract. So lo and behold, a couple of years ago, I said, you know what, man? I'm going to start my own goddamn underwear line. I'm going to make myself the ad campaign model. And I'm going to do the things that I wanted other people to do. I'm going to do that for my freaking self. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on this underwear line. This is it right here. I still got more editing to do, but I'm gonna create my own. You know, screw everybody else. People told me to quit, to give up. You're too short, this and that. You know, blah blah blah. But F them. I am going to go and build. I am building my own life. I am creating my own, and that's what I want you to do too. I'm creating this underwear line. I'm going to have my own logo on it. I'm going to register it. I'm going to create my own ads. I'm going to create my own commercials. I'm going to have my own casting calls. I'm going to live the life that I goddamn well deserve to live. I'm not using anybody else. I'm not going to let anybody else's rejection be the excuse that I can't live the life. And that's what you should do. Build your own incels, you know? And then what's going to happen is this. You're eventually going to have to learn you're going to have to learn to get skills with women and talk to women. But you'll be on a firm, solid footing when you learn to love yourself. Because nobody wants to be with a miserable bastard unless that person is miserable as well. But you're putting yourself on a firm, solid footing when you get a good sense of yourself. Because let me tell you what happens. When you start to build a life that you want for yourself, okay, I'm not even going to argue about looks. Okay, so what? You call yourself ugly, whatever, you're not good looking. But what's going to happen is because you start to learn to build that life for yourself, that experience, that visceral experience of building yourself up, doing the things you love, honoring yourself, going after things you want in life, it's going to naturally, organically build, whether you like it or not, a self-confidence and a groundedness about you. And that is what's going to make you attractive. Trust me. You're going to start seeing woman stare at you? Who's that confident guy? You know what I'm saying? If you start to learn to make yourself happy without women, but on your own, you're gonna start to build a firm foundation of what many people lack and what many people use women to get. A lot of women people won't feel confident unless they're getting girls or they're validated by women. But you're building that on your own by becoming self-sufficient or self-validated. And that will naturally give you an energy of confidence that people, that's going to make you irresistible. I mean, you're going to be able to tweak and socially, whatever you're going to have to do, but start with that by building your own, like I'm doing. And you're going to take that not only woman, but other area, build your own. I don't know what I'm talking about. But then, you can then, you just have a firm foundation of who you are. A lot of people don't know who they are beyond women. And that's a problem. A lot of you incels is that you women define you. The lack of getting them defines your whole identity. But once you start to build your own life and you stop being defined by women, it will give you a lot more power and a lot more confidence to then start to learn how to meet women. Just make you see the world differently. So I hope all this helps. You can follow my other videos about me developing my own underwear line. But yes. Part of it is just I like inspiring people, building underwear line. But a small part of me is like, yo, screw you. I'm going to build myself anyway. All right, I can go into more. So this video is getting too long. But, there are many people that just doubted my ability and stuff like that. But I'm still going on anyway, I'm doing my own and everything like that. And F anybody else. How dare somebody tell you what you can and cannot get. So anyway, again, I hope all this helps. If you want to read more on my blog, go to www.theviableturner.com. You can follow me on Instagram, IkeLoveNYC. If you like what I had to say, please click on like and subscribe. And if you have anything positive to say, leave a comment. And I hope all this works. Helps. Not works, helps. I know it's going to work, but I hope it helps. And remember, build your own. When you start by giving your own damn self the permission to do that. Give your own damn self the permission and screw the world and what their goddamn opinion is. Screw them. Anyway, I gotta go. Take care. God bless and peace.